Hello, folks. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And we are in the Python Basic series for beginners. Our today's topic of discussion is a tuple. So, we will see how to create a tuple, how to concatenate a tuple. We will see a concept of tuple slicing, tuple packing, and unpacking. Then, we will also see some methods associated with the tuples. All right. So, let's jump in. Now, in the first block, we can see here how to create a tuple. This tuple is a variable that I've taken and I'm trying to store three elements in that tuple. So if I run the tuple, before starting with the tuple, let's walk through the definition of a tuple. It's just a collection of objects, much like a list, but those are immutable. So we cannot change, add, or remove any of the items that is there in the tuple, and duplicates are allowed since tuples are indexed, so they can have items with the same value. Now, while creating a tuple, let's come back to creating a tuple. This tuple is equal to these three elements apple, banana, cherry are stored using a round brace. However, this round brace is not a compulsion to create a tuple. Let's run this cell and see the output, what it comes. It's taking a bit time to run the cell. Yeah, so we are getting the error. I had an extra brace over here. Now you can see here, this is the output that we got. If we check the type of this, then we will be able to see that we just created a tuple. There you go. If you remove this round brace, even then you will get an output as a tuple. All right. So it's not compulsory that round brace should be there. Now moving ahead, we will create an empty tuple. So you don't mention anything and use a round brace, then that's a empty tuple. All right. In this case, you will need a round brace because otherwise there is no indication that what should be there. So it might give you an error without this round braces. So it is not going to recognize anything on its own, and that's quite self-explanatory. All right. Then if there is a tuple which has only one item, if there is a tuple which has only one item, then how can you mention it? You will have to explicitly give this comma to identify it as a tuple if a tuple has one item. Now if I run this and if I check the type, I will definitely get it as a tuple. However, just imagine if there was no comma there, then we all know what this type is. So this is nothing but a string data type. That's the reason the comma is required whenever we talk about tuple with one item. All right. Then tuples are heterogeneous. You could see here different data types like boolean, number, and strings are being stored, and it is successful. It doesn't give any error. So tuples are heterogeneous. Then we can create nested tuples as well. Here there are two tuples that are taken, and in tuple 3 they are passing those two tuples. So it's tuple inside a tuple. So when you run it, look at this. There is a tuple, and inside that, separately, two tuples are there. That is tuple 1 and tuple 2. That is displayed in the output. All right. Then tuple 1 is equal to tuple Sachin. Now this highlighted tuple is nothing but a function. So this is another way to create a tuple. You can use tuple function and create tuple, and the pass inside the tuple function you can pass string. So here string Sachin has been passed. Let's see how it gets connected. So now every word is split into different and it is separated by commas. As we saw the definition, tuple will also be separated by commas, much like list, but those are immutable. Now accessing a particular element in a tuple, it's also done. It's also done via negative indexing and positive indexing, like for strings and lists. All right. So if you want to access something, you can just mention the index of that particular element, and you will get the output. So when I did a use the function tuple to on the string Virat, all the letters would be separated. If I actually check it by the commas, and the first letter was V, that's why tuple 1 of 0 came out to be V as a output. Now packing and unpacking. So when we actually define a tuple, in one variable we define um, multiple strings. We store multiple strings, right? Not define, we stores multiple strings. So that is something called as a packing. And when you unpack those, what should be done is those multiple strings should be stored in its corresponding variables. It's just like unpacking your bag when you come back after picnic and then placing your belongings in the place where they should be at your home. All right. So considering that analogy, if you look at this example, we have written a comma b comma c is equal to tuple pack. In tuple, what was there in the baggage or in the luggage? What was there? This water, for, and thirsty. Now, if you could see position wise, water will get assigned to A, for will get assigned to B, and thirsty will be assigned to C. So if I print A, print B, and print C, you will see water, for, and thirsty. So in a single line, what I have done, I have assign values to A, B, and C, or stored water in A, for in B, and thirsty in C. So this concept is called as unpacking because we have successfully unpacked the tuple into different variables, and that too in just one line of code. All right. Then there is a concept of concatenation of tuples. We use plus operator as we use for strings, and only same data types can be combined with the help of concatenation. That is, we already know tuple 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. Then Python for and beginners, this comprises of tuple 2, and when you add tuple 1 plus tuple 2 and store it in tuple 3, the output will be displayed as the concatenation of both. Here you don't get confused, it is not nested, so you will not see multiple brackets in a single tuple. That two tuples will be stored, that is tuple 1 and tuple 2. All right, so you could see here those elements getting concatenated in the output. 0, 1, 2, 3 are of tuple 1, and Python for and beginners are of tuple 2. All right, so concatenation happens successfully. Now slicing of a tuple. So as we have already studied positive indexing and negative indexing, so using the same we can do slicing as well, as we did it for strings. In list also slicing is allowed. Here also we will see how slicing applies on the tuple. It's pretty much the similar way. We create a tuple, then if we want to remove the first element of a tuple and see the rest of the others, then using indexing you can simply mention tuple 1 in the square brace 1 and colon. So the indexing will start from 1, and our intention to remove the first element will be achieved. Likewise, if you want to read a tuple in the reverse way, we can use this. We need not mention any range, just we need to mention step size as -1, and then printing elements in specific range is also possible, giving that range in the form of index. All right. Now, deleting a tuple, we can definitely use a delete keyword to delete entire tuple. And that is what we have confirmed. I deleted the tuple and I'm trying to check whether it got deleted successfully. It gives me an error after deleting. That means the tuple got deleted successfully. Now, next is some methods of tuples like tuple.count. So tuple.count will count the appearance of a particular element in that tuple. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 is a tuple, and it will count how many appearances. So 2 and 3 has appeared for 2 times. So it is checking tuple.count, count of the tuple inside a tuple that contains 2 comma 3, and the count appears to be 2. And 3 comma 2, there is a list inside a tuple 3 comma 2, so that count appears to be only 1, and the same thing is reflected in the output. All right. Then next method is index. So tuple dot index of 3. So here 3 is an element, and what the index method will do, it will return the index of that element, that is index of 3. So tuple dot index 3 comma 4, tuple of index 3, so the output would be 3 because 3 is in the third index position. And if we want that the index of 3 after fourth position or after a specified index should be written, then in this case we are taking fourth index, and after that fourth index whichever index is for 3, that will be written. So 3, the element that we require index of, and after what, after which index. So after index 4. Here if you see this 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, at fourth index it is 2, and then after that immediately at fifth index it is 3, so we will get the answer as 5. All right, so that's all about tuples. Not a big concept, but then important to know, because there will be situations where you would need a fixed set of elements. See, the difference between list and a tuple is that immutable, and due to that immutability, immutable and mutable, okay, lists are mutable tuples are immutable, and due to that behavior, what happens is wherever there is a need of entering fixed set of elements, like say a days of week, or you may call um, days of a particular month, it is not going to change, right? It will be 30 or 31 days of week, it will always be 7 in number. So it should not happen that someone goes and edits the data in the days of week. All right, in that case you can use this immutability of tuple and not the mutable nature of list, right? So this way tuple is also very important as is list. So wherever there are scenarios when you want your data or existing data to be expanded, you can use list. However, as I mentioned in the examples like days of week, where you don't want to increase the size of a particular data or data structure, then you may go for tuple. So that's about it, and I will see you in next session. Thank you.